Okay, so we've talked about income. Now I want to talk about the award wage system. This is a system in Australia that was set up by the Hawke government back in the 80s, and it's a guaranteed wage system that we have in our country. So it actually comes from the Fair Work Ombudsman. So Fair Work Australia is actually a piece of legislation where there is a guarantee that if somebody is doing a job, that they're paid the same as the next person. That guarantee applies to the minimum. It doesn't apply to the maximum. So for example, it's possible for two waiters to be working in a cafe and one to be paid more than the other because one is on the award wage, that means the minimum wage, and the other one has negotiated a higher wage. Negotiation means they've asked and provided evidence for why they should receive a higher wage. So an award is a document that is a legal requirement in Australia that guarantees that base wage. Okay, so in base wages, minimum wages are quite common in most Western countries. In Australia, we treat this very, very seriously. In America, it's treated less seriously. So, for example, the minimum wage for some industries in America can be as little as like $2 an hour. So there's some real issues in America and how it's handled. But what I'm going to do is show you an example now through the website on how to work out how much I'm paid an hour. So if I go to pay and I go to the pay calculator, it takes me here. I'm an employee looking for my pay rate. So this is saying I'm somebody who's in a job looking for how much I'm going to get paid. This one is I'm a person employing somebody, I'm paying them their wage, and I need to work out what to pay them. Okay, so that's correct. I'm an employee. I click on next. I don't know my award, right? So I'm going to go next. And then it's going to look this up. So I'm going to do teacher. And it will think. And then it gives me a range of teaching. So I'm just going to go with teacher, and then I'm going to do next. Okay, so post-secondary means universities or TAFEs. That's not me, so I'm a teacher, so I'll go to this one, and then I'm going to click on next. I'm not a trainee, okay, because I've already got a job. I'm not eligible for a supported wage, but if I didn't know what that was, I could click on that. Okay, so for example, there might be an extra support available by employing a particular person or supplementing their income. As you can see here, it talks about people who are based on employees with a disability and how much wage they're going to receive. So that's not me, so I'm no. Am I an apprentice? No. So now I'm going to click on next. Okay. Why am I still a trainee? Oh, because I clicked yes. Let's click no. So now let's go to next. Okay, so what level you are. So in teaching, I know that it's got different levels depending on how many years you've been teaching for. I can't remember how many years I've been teaching for, so let's say it's a level 3. And if I click on that, it's going to give me that sort of information about the level. So I could check it out. So now I'm going to say next. Now I'm part-time. Now full-time means that I'd be working a full week. So for teachers, that's 35 hours a week. For part-time, that means I have agreed hours that I will work at Canberra High. So there are a certain number of hours that I will work, and it's actually what we call a 60% loading. So I can't do maths, so whatever 60% of 35 hours is. Now, casual is a rate that you guys might be employed at already or be looking at, and that means that you actually don't have any guaranteed hours, but you'll get offered shifts. So casual is things like retail, hospitality, they're often casual employment, and that means that you'll get offered shifts as they come up. A shift is a term that we use to denote a period of work. So for example, you might work a shift from 12 till 4, or 12 till 2, or 9 till 12, okay, and so that's called a shift. A shift can also be a 12-hour shift, So that's also possible as well. So a shift is just a term that we use to denote a period of work. So I'm going to click on next. Am I a qualified teacher? Yes, I am. Am I engaged in Queensland? No, I'm not. Now, this means that something's different in Queensland than it is in the rest of Australia, which is interesting. Do I work in a children's or early childhood service? No, I don't. Am I an early childhood? No, I'm not. Am I a teacher in a school? Yes, I am. Am I required to report part of leadership as required? No, I'm not. That's asking whether or not I'm a senior teacher. I'm not, although I do pastoral care because I care about you guys. Okay, so my hourly rate according to the award wage system is $27.72 per hour. Okay, so that is the legal minimum that I'm allowed to be paid as a teacher. I literally don't know what I'm paid an hour. I probably should find that out. However, the award wage doesn't apply to me as a teacher because I actually have a different agreement with the Directorate of Education for the ACT. So I'm actually not covered by the award wage. So you need to be careful about whether or not you're covered one way or the other. Agreements with an employer normally put you above the award wage. I've never seen an agreement put people below the award wage, but that's absolutely important to understand that there is a legal obligation to be paid at least $27.72 an hour for me. So in class, I'm going to get you to actually do a bit of work on this and do different professions and see what people should be paid. Okay, so now we know how much I'm paid as an hour as a minimum. I don't remember what I'm paid. Why does that actually matter? Why does it matter that we have an award wage system? Well, in this country, that means that you are guaranteed to be paid the same amount as the next person as a minimum point. Okay, so we need to, that is a legal requirement for all employees to have the same respect and the same entitlements as the next employee. It's guaranteed by law. The other thing is we also have another piece of legislation called the Anti-Discrimination Law, and that means in the workplace everybody has to be treated equally outside of the money as well. So they have to be verbally treated the same, they have to be offered the same number of shifts and things like that. So for example, if there's somebody that the manager doesn't like and they stop getting shifts, well, they have a right to complain about that because that's discrimination. Or if they don't like the way your hair is cut or something like that, that's discrimination and you can appeal on that. So we actually do protect our workers quite well in this country through legal documentation, through the laws, and that's one of the reasons why it matters. But we'll have a look a bit more at this in the classroom.